coming soon to this theater.
Hey everybody, what is up? It is your boy Brian. I am about to take a look at Brandon Cronenberg's new film, Infinity Pool. Now, the horror community seems very divided about this. In fact, they seem just as divided over this one as they did the last film that I reviewed, Skinamarink. That's to say, half of the audience seems to love it, the other half seems to dismiss it as a bunch of pretentious balderdash. Balderdash, I say. Now, I think some people are very unfairly comparing him to his father. I mean, my God. That's one hell of a shadow to have hanging over you. If I were him, I wouldn't use the name Cronenberg. I would do what Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, did and just choose an entirely different name because, wow, that's one hell of a legacy to have to live in the shadow of as an artist. I am going in knowing as little as possible because that's what people have been recommending to me. They've been telling me, don't read any reviews, go in as cold as completely possible. So that's what I'm doing. This is why I'm checking it out tonight, because I don't want to come across any spoilers. So anyway, I'm going to check out Infinity Pool, and I will be back with my review. So, I have just finished watching Brandon Cronenberg's Infinity Pool, and I rather liked it. I liked his last film, which was called Possessor, which had a really interesting conceit in it, where basically you had a woman who was an assassin who would take over other people's bodies and commit murders with their bodies, and then jump out of their bodies, leaving that person, of course, to take the rap. I thought that was a really good film, although it felt like something was missing. Like Possessor, Infinity Pool definitely has a very sort of nihilistic vibe to it. I'm not saying that the film itself is nihilistic so much as it's about nihilism. It's difficult not to compare Brandon Cronenberg's films to his father's because they deal with very similar subject matter. I would say that Brandon Cronenberg isn't so much ripping off his own father or copying his own father as he is inspired by the same authors that inspired him, namely William S. Burroughs and Philip K. Dick. There's a lot of Philip K. Dick in Infinity Pool. A lot. In fact, I think Phil K. Dick would have really enjoyed this. Here's the thing. I don't want to give away too much of the plot because I went into this film cold because people were telling me, go into this film cold. That's the way to do it. And I think that's the way you should do it too, so I'm going to try to avoid spoilers here. The plot is basically you have Alexander Skarsgard, who plays a author who is, I would say, struggling with his career. He's had one book that came out that got bad reviews, didn't sell, and he hasn't been able to work on his second, probably because his first one was so roundly rejected. And so, you know, he's feeling a bit gun-shy and unsure of himself. Now, he's married to a wealthy woman who is the daughter of his publisher. So he definitely feels somewhat, I would say, emasculated. Sometimes in conversation she'll say little things to belittle him. You can tell that although she says, like, hey honey, it's okay, I got the money, we're good, everything's not good. She doesn't respect him. Does she love him? Yeah, I would say, but it's difficult to love people that you don't respect. And so what happens is they're staying at this resort that is set in some imaginary country. This is actually shot in Croatia, but it looks like it could take place in, I don't know, someplace that's like an odd cross between the Mediterranean and Eastern Europe. And I forget the name of the country it's set in, but it's a completely fictitious country with a completely fictitious culture. They're staying at a hotel that is like one of those resorts that's surrounded by, barbed wire gates, that sort of a thing, It's like, hey, yeah, it's beautiful here, but, if you step outside of the resort, the natives here, they might hack you to death with machetes or kidnap you or burn you in an oil barrel. Just saying. And there's some amusing little bits where you see that a member of the staff is putting on these, like, little cultural exhibitions, except they're completely off the mark, like they do like a little Bollywood dance. And different activities involving different cultures and ethnicities that are just completely off the mark. Those scenes are pretty amusing. Eventually, our hero does leave the compound, does step out of the compound, and things take a very, very ugly turn. And he ends up encountering some very, very strange technology that the locals use in their law enforcement. I'm not going to go any further than that, not dropping any spoilers, but he falls in with a group of people that are bad folks, who are very nihilistic, and lead him on a very, very terrifying, mind-bending journey. I think the people that are accusing this film of being pretentious are off the mark. I actually think that this is a pretty sincere film, and it's genuinely unnerving. There's a lot of gore, and the gore is brutal. Just like in his previous film, Possessor, a lot of the gore that you see is really, I would say, Fulci-esque. In fact, I would say when it comes to like the body horror and the violence and everything that's in Cronenberg's and Brandon Cronenberg's movies, it's not even really body horror. It's just straight up splatter. It's just people's heads getting fucked up and caved in, and getting fucking disemboweled and just nasty, nasty, nasty shit. I think that it's a good film. And it's almost a great one. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. Yeah, it's well worth seeing. But that's if you like your horror movies on the surreal side. I would say that if you like the films of Panos Cosmatos, for instance, if you liked Mandy, if you like Beyond the Black Rainbow, I would say that Brandon Cronenberg's very much working in the same neighborhood, if not the same apartment. Anyway, that's my review. Go check it out. Right now you can find Infinity Pool. It's playing in some theaters, and it is also available on streaming. So go check it out. Peace.